As the leaves change, so does the excitement of the fall season. But unfortunately, while the days get shorter and the nights grow longer, we often find ourselves facing the shadowy world of online fraudsters. Here to tell us how we can protect our shopping ventures from online threats, we have cybersecurity expert Michael Jabara, the global head of fraud services at Visa. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you so much for having me.
Happy to have you on. So, Michael, why is it crucial for shoppers to stay vigilant this fall as we approach the holiday season?
Well, according to the historical trends that we've observed, the holiday season is essentially the fraudster Super Bowl, given the amount of spend that occurs during this period. And so fraudsters have been kind of tinkering with their schemes and their various techniques over the past few months in anticipation of this time so that they can launch them on a wider and unsuspecting public. So we're not going to let them be successful, so we're here to talk about kind of being really aware of where you're shopping and who you're sharing your sensitive information with during this time.
Okay, perfect. And Michael, you said the word trends. So what are the trends you're seeing in the always evolving threat landscape?
So we're seeing kind of an interesting adoption of new technologies by fraudsters, specifically as it relates to capabilities like ChatGPT, where they're deploying it to come up with much more believable and much more successful phishing communications than we had seen previously. We're seeing an increase in ransomware attacks. It's a 90% year-over-year jump. And we're looking at a spike of retail-related scams that are targeting consumers, everything from free gift card scams to spoofed merchant websites, which essentially are online stores that look very legitimate, but essentially are there to siphon off your payment data when you click on that checkout button.
And in addition to us having to be extra vigilant, what's being done to help shoppers and businesses?
Well, Visa is very focused on protecting consumers and businesses from these types of threats. We've invested over $10 billion in our AI and cybersecurity capabilities over the past 5 years, and we're seeing these investments yield material benefits where over the past 6 months we've prevented over $30 billion in fraud before it impacted any consumer or business. So, Visa is on your side when it comes to combating these threat actors.
Yeah, and you mentioned that this has been going on for 5 years, so it's good to know that Visa has been having these motions in action for quite some time. Does it make a difference if we search online or step into, let's say, a traditional brick and mortar store?
Well, our data tells us that the online channel is disproportionately targeted by fraudsters, where about 60% of cybercrime occurs in the online world. This is everything from data compromises to ransomware to some of the scams that I've talked about, as well as this new trend that we're looking at called malvertising, which essentially is where you're served up an ad that has an offer that's too good to be true. But some consumers click on it, and when you do, malware is downloaded onto your device and compromises your personal data. So it's malware delivered through advertising.
All right, I'm going to remember if it's too good to be true, it's probably not worth trying it. And this has been super informative. Are there any additional strategies and actions in place to stop cybercrime this season?
So we know that it's not just enough to kind of mitigate and play defense when it comes to fraud. We also want to make sure that we are disrupting the infrastructure that's being used by these criminals so that we can make it harder for them to do business. And that's why we partner with the intelligence community and law enforcement agencies, both within the US and globally, to shut down kind of these dark web marketplaces where they can sell their ill-gotten wares or where they can buy these tools that allow them to carry out these attacks. Because we know when it comes to fraud, it's going to be a team sport.
Michael, thank you for these helpful tips. I'm going to let our viewers know where they can go for more information. You can check out visa.com/blog.